Hi everybody, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be here with you to do this reading. So I'm not sure what's going on in the beginning. If there's a weird beginning, just hold up, everything's fine. We had a weird start. I guess it was just sitting there and it wasn't providing any information. But anyway, today we're going to do a viewer request, and which is how does he feel about you? It's a pick a card. You guys get 3 options, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Members get a 4th option. The link is in the description. Also, I have another pick a card for you guys for March, which is the weekly one, and it's super fun. So go into the description and check it out. I'll put one for love and one for general guidance there for you as well. I hope you guys are doing well. This was suggested by my 888th Twitter follower, so I hope that you're happy with this, and thank you for joining us. I'm excited that you suggested this because I was actually literally thinking of doing similar. So let's begin. Mercury retrograde is still in effect because everything's going wonky, but I think we got it under control. And also, the last thing that I'll say is I forget. So just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. Okay, here we go. So this is the 4th one. I'll do this in a separate video. How does he feel about you? We're going to answer that and start with number 1 right away. Okay, that was a weird intro. Sorry, guys. It's like a new way to stream, so I'm still figuring out some of the ins and outs, but we'll fix it for the people who are watching this taped. Thank you, everybody who's joining me live, and let's just go for it, okay? So let me know if you chose number 1. Let's take a look. Oh, the thing I forgot to mention. So if you're doing the time cap, don't do it yet. Basically, the way that it's organized is in the first row, we're going to tell you how he feels about you. What is the situation? In the second row, we're going to go into the psychology of it, including past lives. And in the third row, it's going to be all about the future and all about the advice. Okay, so let's begin. And then I have 2 oracle cards as usual. Okay, so my first deck is exciting because this is one of my first decks I ever had. It's a Thoth deck. And so we have first the Wheel of Fortune. So I have a feeling that he has very strong feelings towards you. This is Jupiter. Jupiter is usually used as a transit to do with marriage, to do with like being a husband. So, and by the way, if you're dealing with a woman, that's all the things I forgot. If you're dealing with a woman, change the gender, please. So, so this person feels very protective over you. They feel very concerned and loving, patriarchal. They want to take care of you. They want you to feel good. And they really are concerned about your well-being. Let's take a look at the second card. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So they want to give you something. They want to give you something important. They want to bring you into their life. They want to begin something with you. That's also very important for them as well. I have a feeling that they're in that stage of life where they're sort of thinking about being more serious towards the people around them. They want a better life with you, and they want a better life for themselves as well. So they're in that stage of things as well. The next message is the Princess of Wands. And so this is a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, secondary transits in Earth, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. This person really wants to go on adventures with you and have a very adventure-filled life together. They want to open up to you. They want to have that very abundant and intense relationship, okay? The next message is the Lover's card, which is the card of Gemini. This person is very, very serious about their relationship with you, I think. Not only that, they're very serious about life at this time, so they really want a deeper connection. I think that they're looking for family. They may have had a family member who had left their circles recently. They have maybe moved away, or maybe a sister has married out of the family somehow, so now she's moved on to live with her husband or wife. And so this person is very kind of focused on the idea of creating family around him and that being a priority. The next message is the Prince of Discs. This person's very, very hardworking, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, secondary transits in air. That doesn't mean that these are the transits. When I mention the transits, it's just a general guide. This is a general reading. But I have a feeling that this person is beginning something new in their lives, like a career beginning or some other new beginning. And so they want a stable life, they want a stable relationship, and I think they're very open towards that at this time. So let's take a look at the psychology and the past lives. So I like to analyze. I'm a Virgo. Let's take a look at what's motivating him or her. So the first card is the Seven of Pentacles. So this person, they're basically aware that life is not forever, and that there are responsibilities that have consequences, and their mind is very focused on the long term. They're thinking about where things will go, where they need to save money for retirement, for buying a house, whatever their motivation is. They're really taking on that long-term perspective. The next message is the Hierophant. This person wants to get married so badly, you guys. So it really feels like this person's serious about marriage. They really want a partner in life. I think that they're thinking about it 100%. Like, that is something that is for them so important. I think that in a past life they had a very close tie to religion, and so for whatever reason, that is such a huge part of them and who they are. Even if they're not religious now, they do have that kind of traditional side to them, and that is really pushing them towards being open to serious relationships, partnerships, and connection. The next message is the Knight of Pentacles. So this is a person who has, through many lifetimes, or even within this lifetime, traveled really far and worked really hard to achieve his goals or their goals in what life they want to achieve. So they're not going to easily throw things away. They don't want to throw things away. They don't want to be carefree or careless with circumstances. They are really taking the long-term perspective with things. And then we have the Eight of Cups. So this is probably to do with the fact that their family has changed in some way recently, their immediate family. Like I mentioned before, it was like his sister or her sister was getting married and starting their life, and so they in some way are now feeling the need to, in some way, kind of bring in closeness and bring the family together. So it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's time in their family to kind of build the family up. And that's what's motivating them. Their feelings of really wanting family and really wanting a close connection with others. And then we have the Two of Swords next. And so this is Moon in Libra. So this person has committed themselves to something already in terms of not relationship, but work or career. So they're very committed to that trajectory. And I think that in some way that makes them less flexible in terms of other life choices. And so for them, it's very important to have a stable relationship because their career or their work is very important to them, and they need a relationship that's not going to mess everything up. All the years of hard work, they may have studied a long time, they just don't want things to get in the way. So they want a peaceful relationship, and I think that they feel that they can have that with you, and also adventure. This is really nice card because otherwise it would be a very serious relationship, but I think what they're actually looking for is adventure and connection and like fun, like good vibes. The next line and the last line has to do with the future advice, kind of like the higher purpose sort of conclusion, what to do next. So we have the Page of Swords, we have a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. So I have a feeling that this person is going to change and tell you a lot more in the future. I think that at this time, these are a lot of private thoughts, a lot of things going on the inside for them. And I think taking a step forward, they will be opening up more and communicating with you more. The next message is the Five of Wands. And so they have a perpetual experience in life of struggling with the need of a more profound experience. They're seeking those more profound spiritual experiences, religious experiences, and they experience frustration in their life because they always are looking for like the next level, to be more intense, to be more serious. There's this constant struggle for them to kind of enrich their life through religion and faith. So if you are of the same faith as they are, or even if you're not religious, but if your belief system is sort of aligned, that's going to be something that they are going to very much need support with, because they struggle within themselves about that. It almost feels like in a past life they were a person of the church or something like that, very, very religious person. And so in this life, they're always pushing that aspect in their life, spirituality or religion. And so they always feel like it's not satisfied, like they want more and more of it. And so you will be in some way a part of that, a part of centering and grounding that energy and finding satisfaction in religion or spirituality for them. Here is the next message. We have the Knight of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, secondary transits in air. So this person has big ambitions, and I think that they know that they're going to be up against a lot of intense competition at work or in life. Wherever they're going with things, it's going to be quite competitive. And so they're going to I feel like they really want an anchor. They really want someone to come home to feel safe around, somebody who's going to be consistent. I feel like you're dealing with someone who has a lot of priorities in another direction, like work or school or career or whatever it is. And I have a feeling that they're up against a lot of people that will do a lot of destabilizing things in their life. And so what they're really hoping for is to establish a place of stability and security with you. Here is the next message. We have the Seven of Wands, which is Venus in Scorpio. So I have a feeling that this person's quite melodramatic about their feeling towards family. They feel very intensely towards the desire of wanting family, and some of that will scale back. So if you feel like it's a little too much right now, like they're being too intense, about the concept of family, I think they're going to chill out with that soon, and it's not going to be as intense for long. But no, they're being quite dramatic, and it might be a response to feeling as though people are leaving in their family, and so they feel the need to build that in a new direction. And then we have the Eight of Wands, Mercury in Sagittarius. I have a feeling that they are going to take some chances in their career, and I think they're getting ready for that right now. So get prepared for the fact that they are going to take some chances, they are going to try something new, and they really want that from a partner, the supportive environment, so they can kind of blast off and try different things in their life. So it sounds like this person is very focused on other things. They are very earthy, Knight of Pentacles energy. So, but it doesn't mean that they don't love you. They're just a person who really prioritizes certain things in their life, like their career, and they really need someone who can complement that. So I saw recently Jeff Bezos with his wife speaking with the president of France, or his new wife, and she was with him, and the moment they got together, she sort of complimented him because he runs one of the biggest businesses in the world, right? So it's like this companionship role. They may not necessarily want you to give up everything for their relationship with you, but I feel like they want someone to complement all the things they aspire to do. So they'll love you very much, and they need that kind of friendship and companionship. Here is the clarifying cards. We have engagement, very serious relationship. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And then we have the golden path. So I think this person has a huge vision for their life, and I think they want you to be a part of it. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you didn't like this one, then please choose another one. We have 2 and 3, and then we have members only number 4. It'll be ready after I'm done the live, okay? All right, so let's do number 2. Hi, number 2, welcome. Let's take a look at how he feels about you. So first line, I didn't do a good intro. Sorry about that. So the first line is really about the situation. The second line is about the past life, past events of this life. Context, when we'll psychoanalyze also the subconscious of their feelings towards you. By the way, if you're dealing with a woman, please change the pronoun to she. And then finally, number 3 will be the future outlook, advice, what I think will happen and what you should do in this situation, that kind of stuff. Okay, so your first line is the 5 of Swords. They feel like they've made a mistake with you and they don't feel like they've succeeded. So they feel defeated in the situation. And I think that they feel guilty, frankly. I feel like they feel guilty or that they've done you wrong or somehow just failed themselves or failed you. The next message is the universe. So I have a feeling that this person really wants to do some soul searching. I have a feeling that they really want to be with you, but it's like, you know, when you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and so you feel kind of like it's hard to confront it. I feel like this person feels that way towards you, that they in some way have made a mistake and it's hard for them to correct it. They don't really know how to, or they don't know what to say. So they are really thinking about kind of taking some room to breathe, to figure out their thoughts, to figure out where they stand. The next message is the 9 of Wands. And so this is personal strength and personal strength and fortitude. It feels like they very much want to take a step back right now, but it's not because they don't love you. It has to do with the fact that they feel like they've made a mistake or they failed. There's some kind of error here that they feel has happened because of them. And so they're trying to figure out how to deal with the situation appropriately. They might have their guard up. They may go into their man cave. And so in some way, you're dealing with someone who's pulling back, not because they don't want to be there with you, but because they in some way feel like they failed. Here is the next message, 5 of Cups. They're very, very emotional about this situation. I have a feeling that this touches on deeper issues. We'll see this in the second row probably. Deeper issues to do with their self, deeper issues to do with past situations where they felt like a failure. So it's like, you know, lack of confidence, lack of confidence or strength in their ability to face issues. They just, in some way, this situation may be triggering for them other situations in their life in which they have not really known how to handle things or failed in relationships. So they have some difficult thoughts that they have to work through, some difficult feelings here. And then we have the 10 of Swords. I think that this is, like, listen, this looks really, really intense, but I think this is going to be a turnaround. I think this is rock bottom. So I think this person needs to hit rock bottom before they're going to have their awareness. And I think that you should definitely not help them hit rock bottom, but allow them to fall, allow them to have that breakdown, because it's when they have that breakdown, then that's when they can rise up, and already they're trying here. So, you know, they need to withdraw, they need to hit a wall with it so that they can find another solution. So I feel very strongly, I haven't even done the second line, but I feel very strongly that, you know, that is something that is really needed here. So then we have the King of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, secondary transit in fire, Sag, Leo, or Aries. So just remember, this is the psychology, the subconscious psychology of this person, the past life connection, just getting into the analysis of their mental state and that kind of stuff, okay? So we have the King of Pentacles. I have a feeling that this person had a past life that involved a lot of wealth and privilege, or maybe within this lifetime they already were born into a lot of wealth and privilege, and so they were sort of sheltered And so they're confronting some big things in this relationship and in this stage of life. And so this feeling of being taken off of their high horse or being taken off of their pedestal is in some way making them humble, and they have to have that moment of humility in order to come back into this state. And this state is actually their destiny. So they are meant to become the King of Pentacles again. They will once again become very powerful and very financially stable and all those things. But I think that they first have to have something crumble in their life before they're fully ready to understand. So they have to kind of rebuild something from scratch, or at least change one aspect of how they are feeling about things or thinking about things. The next card is the Emperor. So they have big ambitions. So sometimes when people like live in such a, how do you say, sheltered state, they have a lot of ambitions, but they don't know how to build them up. So there's a lot of, I want to be this, I am this, I was born into this, or my past life was this, but I don't know what steps I need to take to make it happen. And so there's this, where do I find this in the world? And this is their saving grace, because they know that they have to find it. Some people spend a whole lifetime just pretending or feeling like they were a king of pentacles, such a regal energy, but they are just people who don't do anything, who laze around and are like the opposite of this. But this person is aware, and this person is searching for an answer. So they are not going to be some passive observer or entitled SOB, whatever like that. They're looking for an answer, and I think that that's why they're attracted to you, and I think that that's why they are drawn to you, because they see you as the antidote to their laziness or through their sheltered state. Then we have the Hermit. So they are definitely going soul searching. They're definitely going soul searching, trying to find an answer in things. And I think it's like a dark night of the soul kind of moment for them. So how they feel about you is like, you might be the light in their little candle there. You know, you might be the light that is kind of keeping them grounded at this point, because it looks like their life is pretty intense, or maybe even pretty dark, and they are confronting some things that are very hard to face. The next message is the Seven of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I don't know why I said that. That's Venus and Scorpio, but I guess that's a channel message. They're going to go back and forth between feeling depleted about the world and then feeling overly elated or overly ambitious, and they need to find that middle ground, and that's why you can't be a part of that. That's why they have to find that middle ground emotionally between feeling completely defeated by the world and then feeling like the world is Disneyland and setting unachievable expectations. They are karmically set to have a how do you say, a path by themselves. They are karmically supposed to have this moment, this dark night of the soul kind of situation. And so you need to be, as their friend or whoever you are to them, you have to in some way be receptive to that. It's a higher calling kind of energy, it looks like. And then we have the Six of Swords. So they need to leave some things behind, and I don't want you to feel like they're leaving you behind, because you see there's a woman and a child in the boat with them. So it's like they have to leave, and I just got goosebumps, so that's a really good sign for you. But it looks like they're leaving something behind. They're leaving behind, you know, those expired ways of thinking. They're leaving behind their privilege. They're leaving behind an unsustainable way of thinking about life. And so you should be excited about this, because they're doing the hard work that's necessary for them to rise up. Here is the last line, which is kind of advice, future outlook, maybe what you should do in the situation. We have the Four of Wands, happy home, happy family. So they are destined for this, but they have to earn it. So it's in them, it's in their genetic imprint, it's their coding. Like, they are going to become the King of Pentacles, but they have to build that empire themselves. They can't just pretend like it's there and it's not there. It's going to be earned, and I think they're confronting that fact right now. We have Temperance next, which is Sagittarius. Okay, so I have a feeling that their ambitions are huge in their life, but I feel like with such big ambitions, they also know that they have to put in the work to achieve it. So they're not letting things sort of slide. They're genuinely putting in the effort to attain all these things, to gain all this energy. Let's see the next message. We have the Lovers. And so it's kind of like, who is my tribe? That's what's going on in their mind. And I think when they're alone, it's almost like certain paintings when you step back, like Rothko, for example, when you step back, you really appreciate what it means and what it is. Monet's very similar as well. Renoir's very similar like that as well. So when you take a step back, you can appreciate the beauty. So they need to step back, and then they will appreciate the significance of all their relationships, not just their relationship with you. And that's already there, so it's not like you have to worry about it developing. It's there. They just need to kind of think about it and see it. They need quiet to be able to hear it. It's like, dropping a needle onto the floor in a quiet room. It sounds very loud, so they need to quiet down their environment to be able to hear that vibration. Here is the next message. We have the Four of Pentacles. So this person is going to be prone to shutting down for a while until they figure out their things. Emotional things. Remember, I was telling you how they're sort of going between flooding and flight. So they'll feel like nothing's working out and run away, or they will come back very strong and have ambitions that are sort of unrealistic. And in between that process, they might be somewhat selfish. And so you need to decide. I don't think it's really horrible, and I don't think it's like intentionally against you, but they will be on the side of cautionary with people around them. That's one of the things they also have to break down, because they were born with this privilege, or their past life was very privileged. Like in their past life, they could have literally been a king, or a duke or something like that. And so there's a part of them that is sort of elitist, and so they in some way have to break those things down. And as they break those things down, they'll become much more open and much more in alignment with who they are. Then we have the Moon. So there's a lot of questions in their mind about where life is supposed to go. There's also a lot of intuition that is guiding them in this new direction, because they don't have any experience in going where they're going in this lifetime. So right now in March 2020, this is sort of a timeless reading, but in March 2020, when I'm filming this reading, you have these transits that are sort of setting us all, not only in our lifetime, but on a metaphysical life path level, south node to the north node. They're setting us on a new trajectory. It's a completely a new trajectory that most of us have never experienced before. And so from here on in, we are not going to experience the same kind of situations that even we had experienced in past lives. There's not, that path is completely diverted with the current transit. So if you're watching this any time after March 2020, which is all of you are, unless we've invented space travel, time travel, which is great, then you are definitely, there's this kind of question mark about where they're going, and they're really leaving this way of doing things behind. Okay, so let's see your oracle cards. We have Forgiving and Learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moments. So I have a feeling that this person has real kind of anxieties, or they have in some way very strong feelings towards their parents. Their parents gave them a lot, but also didn't give them anything. So they may have been the child who had, they may have received a lot of like video games or whatever growing up, anything they wanted, but they didn't get affection. So there was like maybe even a narcissistic environment where there was a lot of tangible goods, but not very much love or affection. And so they have very mixed feelings towards love and relationships entirely, and I think they're working their way through that, and they're being very brave. So just remember, this person's being very brave for what they're going through. And then the last card is forgiveness. Forgiving and learning and forgiveness. Do you see that? So to me, this person has a lot of things to work through, but like a lot of people do. So I don't want you to feel in any way discouraged from being in this relationship with this person. I'm not saying that this person's a danger or emotionally a danger. I think they're being super brave, and I think you're dealing with a survivor. I think you're dealing with a survivor through possibly many even generations, and someone who's leaving behind fake things for real things, and I think they want you to be a part of that. So if you like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. And if you don't like it, then choose 1 or 3, and maybe you'll find a better answer there. Okay? So now we're going to do number 3. How are you guys doing in chat? Okay, so let's take a look. Number 3, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who used to choose 3 with me, I'm doing 4 now for members only, and that's where I select number 4. So we do it in private. Let's see the next message, and you guys can share with me in that, so feel free to choose 4 if you're guided to that. So 3 is clear energy, welcome. Let's find out how they feel about you. If you're dealing with a woman, please change the gender. The first line is the situation. The second line is the past life, psychology, early stages of the relationship or past and history of this person's life. And the third line is the possible outcomes and the possible advice that you may take on to understand the situation. Okay, so first card is, we have the Devil. Ooh, Capricorn energy. This is coming up a lot right now because there are a lot of transits at the time of filming in Capricorn. But this person probably lived a very fast-paced lifestyle. This person may have worked a lot for very money-oriented. They could have been in business and trading, something like that. Very, very money-driven individual. But they are looking for more in their life. That's why I feel like this came up first. They're leaving behind a life that is incredibly fast-paced, very focused on money, those kinds of things. Yeah, that's the Adjustment. Adjustment is the Libra card, and it represents justice. So you know how sometimes people, when they live in this ambitious lifestyle, they never take a look at things until they hit a wall, and that can be quite disastrous. Oftentimes it happens in midlife or even later, and that person goes through a change then. But this person caught themselves before they hit a wall. They sort of stopped themselves in their track, and now they are doing the heavy karmic work in their life and being very truthful to what they want. So they literally could have went from being kind of like hedge fund manager, you know, like people dealing with money all day, to being like very yogic minded, very spiritual, and very aware. So they literally are going through a huge transition in their life that is moving them towards awareness. We have the King of Wands. Yeah, they're they're a person who is very much changing the way they live from a very cold and calculated and money-driven, ambition-driven reality towards a very spiritual way of living life. The next message is the King of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. They met somebody who's a huge influence on their life. If they didn't meet this person, then they read a book. They read a book by somebody who changed their life, and this person influenced the way that they think, and now they think in alignment with this person's philosophy. So you will in some way hear from them, like saying, Noam Chomsky says this, or they say things in reference to, they have someone around them who's a massive influence on their life, on the way they think. And it's funny because we're asking how they feel about you, but I think that what they're saying is that they see you complement that side of them, and this is a huge change in their life, and so therefore that brings them value. it's not transactional in terms of your relationship, but it is like, it's not transactional in the sense that they want you to be there for them so they can achieve it. But men are very focused on functionality. So if a relationship has merit or function, then it's very valuable. I was just thinking, if you're dealing with a woman, it's a very similar thing, but if you're dealing with a man, this is very much like they're not using you, but they see you as a part of what's going on. In fact, several of the options today had that kind of vibe, and that can sound very selfish, but it's not. It isn't that selfish side of it. It's that side of it that has meaning and has a like an intentionality behind why they are doing what they're doing. Okay, and then we have the Two of Cups. So this person is being guided towards you by this person around them. Like I said, it's a person or a book that they've read, like a philosopher they're reading who they like a lot. Maybe it's like Buddhist philosophy or some other philosophy that they're exposed to. But it's some kind of set of ideas that are influencing them to reaffirm their feelings for you. So they have a whole environment around them that is sort of building them up to have these strong feelings for you. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. I would say this person feels like you have meaning in their life and you are a part of this huge transition from being kind of cutthroat to being extremely pleasant and compassionate. There's a shift that's happening in them. Here is the next message. So this is the past life or the context, including the psychology. Three of Wands. So it was a get me attitude. What can I get me? What can I achieve? That's where their mind was at. Every interaction, every situation was, what can I get out of this? What can I, and I think they stopped themselves and they were like, whoa, I'm becoming a narcissist. Like they weren't a narcissist, but they were functioning like a narcissist because of the environment they were in. You know, they thought they were choosing a good career and it became a whole like way of doing things. And they stopped themselves and they're like, no, this is not the right way. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, and they've worked really, really hard to change their path in life. You know, like maybe they studied yoga and that takes several hundred hours to be able to teach on top of your regular practice. Or maybe there is some other commitment that they really attached. They've been practicing this for a while, so they've been reading books, they've been expanding their mind, their awareness, and so that's been elevating their situation. They're actually transitioning by doing things. They're not just, you know, putting on a different outfit and saying I'm a yoga teacher now. They're really, really putting in a lot of genuine effort here. And then we have the Five of Wands. So there has been a lot of people in their life. This is all very present life. It's not past life stuff. It's to do with the past life, but we're talking about their life in the past. They have had a lot of people around them basically either oust them out of their life, get rid of them out of their life completely, or heavily criticize them for this change, because the people in their life were those kinds of people. They were, you know, the people who liked money, who liked to flex their wealth, you know, that kind of stuff, who are me attitude. So they were coming at them very intensely and saying to them, like, it's inconvenient for me that you're changing your life. Who am I going to play golf with? You know, that kind of stuff. But even more so, who am I going to make money with? I thought we were going to build that company up next year. You know, how could you do this to me? They had some very direct negative fallout socially from the changes that they made in their life. And so we have the High Priestess next. So whether it's a philosophy or an actual person who is giving them this guidance and friendship, it could be a counselor as well. So this could be a part of their therapy, where they're going to therapy and they're kind of getting in touch with what they want in life. But this person is reaffirming your special place in that. So you can rest assured that this person needs you socially and also has some kind of authority figure telling them that you're important and that they shouldn't pass you up. Here is the next message. We have the Five of Swords. Okay, and so I have a feeling that they too will, everybody's feeling self-conscious today, they too will feel like they're failed, in love, like they can't do it well enough. They'll always revert to questions about whether or not they are being cutthroat or too intense. But that's a struggle, and that's a point of learning. So they're learning to love, and I don't think they're making as big of mistakes as they feel like they are, but I think they're sensitive about it. Okay, so oncoming energy, advice, maybe some advice for you as well. We have Dame Darcy. So we have the Sun. I have a feeling that because they made the change early on in their life, early on enough, that they are now being very healthy, and that this is all going to heal. That selfishness, narcissism, greed, ambition, all those unhealthy extreme behaviors are being healed, and there's a lot of healing that this person will achieve. And then we have the Devil here. So this is Capricorn energy. I think that the part of their productivity, because making money is important no matter what you do, will translate into the new things that they do. So I don't think they're just going to become like sell off all their things and go live on a beach somewhere and expect you to come with them. But they will in some way still have a mind for money, and they will apply those skills to the future things that they are doing and learning now. So if they're a yoga teacher, they will somehow financially structure it so that it's economically feasible while still being sustainable. And it's like you're dealing with someone who's very, very smart, I think. And then we have the Ten of Swords. I think they're going to have an ending with a lot of people in their life. I really feel like they're mass exodus, like people are not going to like who they've become, because the people that they were friends with were predators, because they were a predator before. So they're going to be very alone, and they need you for that, obviously. They need good friends, they need alignment, they need love, companionship, and they need a lot of, they are confident, extremely confident. But I have a feeling that even that is going to be really hard for them to deal with. And then we have the King of Wands. I love this card so much. So the same card as this. This is the Knight, but in this deck, the Knight is the King. Let's see if I can get this to focus. And so King of Wands again. Yeah, this person is going to feel as inspired as they do towards their change in spirituality and philosophy. So the way they feel about spirit and the way that they're motivated by spirit is a very similar way to which they feel towards you. So they'll see you as this perfect oracle. Like, they're going to be very metaphysically philosophical about it, and they're going to be very like, wow, she's a goddess, like, oh wow, my vision, it's a really neat feeling. This person's like, they actually feel really cool. They feel like, like somebody who's a champion who looks at their life and gives up everything and then works really hard towards a more altruistic life. They say no to the boneheads that try to sabotage them, and then they express love towards someone who has values that they value about. So here is the next message. We have the King of Pentacles. And he's a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, secondary transits in fire. I think that they're going to be quite jealous of you. I don't know if you have someone else that you are in love with, but or maybe someone from the past. But I have a feeling that this person is quite jealous because they feel like this person is more natural at what they're trying to do. And so they're in some way competition with that. So I have a feeling that the person you're thinking about has genuine, intense feelings for you. But I have a feeling that on the horizon, you're going to have to make a decision about these two. And I have a feeling that this decision on the horizon, my advice for you on this is you make a decision fast, so this doesn't become a long-term long-term, drawn-out situation for you, because that will really deplete this. And I think both are good. This is the crazy thing. I think both are good options for you. And you need to, we're just talking about the King of Wands right now. But I have a feeling that with each one you have like a purpose and a destiny. But the thing that I'll say about the King of Wands, since he's the one who came through, is that he has earned his feelings for you. They're coming from like a huge attachment to who they are as a person and who they have, what they have thrown out and put on the line for you. And to me, that's a very kind of trustworthy love. You know, at the end of the day, you'll choose who you love more or who resonates most. But be careful of turning your back on this person because they have you in such a high esteem. It is kind of that third eye or even crown chakra level. They feel connected with you on a spiritual level. Okay, so let's see your cards. This could be the one. Either one. This could be the one or this one could be the one. I really feel strongly to tell you that this one or this one is the one. But the problem is if you linger between the two, you'll lose both, or you'll lose the intensity of the connection. So don't spread yourself too thin. Choose one. And there may be a situation that pushes you away from him temporarily, like he messes up somehow. And so be careful in that situation because he really loves you. Look at him. I love this card because it always looks up in a strange direction, and look where he's looking. He's like, he loves you so much, and it's all to do with his philosophy. So yes, this could be the one. You've already met the one, the romantic partner you seek. He's working on himself. And then the last card is inner child. So it's like, he was cutthroat. That's what I got. He was cutthroat. He was a shark. And I have a feeling that he's a person who actually did the work and grew into his inner child. And that's beautiful, right? I think so. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you guys are interested, number 4 will be in the description in about 20 minutes. Okay? So have fun. Give me likes, people. 18 to 24s, show up. I'll talk to you guys soon. And take care. Bye.